Good morning. Good morning, cuz. You already setting up the welcome table? That's cool. I'm not quite up to par today. My ear has really been bothering me. Coffee, bacon, and eggs. Cool. I don't see Andy in here, but if you're in here, good morning, Andy. Because that's all says good morning, cuz and Andy. Jesse says good morning, everyone. Andy says good morning. Yeah, today was one of those days I am like not feeling too swift. Cuz says, Ann was first comment. She said she couldn't wait, but she had to. And he says, hello, everyone. Well, you guys, I got three eggs this morning. And like I posted on Facebook, let me get my information all here. And it says, LOL, yeah, I did have to wait. Congratulations on the eggs. Yeah, now I got the fever again. Okay, I use these. I cut these off of the keychain that these go on. This is blue, which goes for the males that I'm keeping. Um, I'm only keeping two of my males because at 6 weeks old, one weighed 12.1 ounce, the other one weighed 12 ounce exactly. The rest of the males are 6.7 ounce to 9.1 ounce. So they don't make the cut. They go to freezer camp in a couple of weeks. The four, I mean, the four females I have, one is 9.1 ounce, 11.5 ounce, 11.4 ounce, and 10.7 ounce. And like I said, those are jumbos on only 6 weeks. And you know they're going to gain some more weight than that. Jan says, good morning, everyone. Blessings to you all. Blessings to you as well, Jan. Women of Spirit. Andy said, Hubby fed the youngers yesterday. I asked him if there was any eggs. He said, no, they are babies still. Andy, yours is about the same age as mine is, so you can expect eggs at any time. Andy said, that's pretty good on their size. Yeah, I need to start weighing the eggs. But they're still in the figuring it out stage. Because both days had one that typical newly laid, not enough calcium on the eggs to where they were very fragile and they weren't the right colors. Yeah, so you should be getting an egg any day. I hope you're not feeding them Do More or Breeder's Choice or Breeder's Pride or whatever it's called. Or TMC. Or TLC rather. Well, see, now, Andy, you can tell your hubby that you know they're teenagers, not babies. Because the chick's one day older than them is already laid 2 days in a row. And Andy says, I don't do Tractor Supply. That is good. I had, my mind just went blank. Last night I weighed the three Otis babies. The ones that are, let's see, they were born in this. They were born no later than okay, they were born around the 16th of December. So that puts them at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That puts them at 6 weeks old. And let me see. Rusty's 1 pound, 5.4 ounces. Shadow's 1 pound, 3.5 ounces. And Two Face is 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. So by the time they're harvested, I'm going to probably have about 3/4 of a pound of meat from each one. Okay, let me catch up with you guys. Andy says she doesn't do Tractor Supply. And she agrees, yes, that they're teenagers. Jessie says, SO, I expect you to show up in a big fur coat today. What with all that egg money? SO says, I don't believe in flaunting my wealth. And he says, the only reason we ever go to Tractor Supply is to look at boots for a hubby once a year. Hey, Mark, Little Rich Farm is here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Listening in while I cook bacon. And Steve says, Verna is now Kai rich. Koi rich. Yeah, you remember during a Wednesday live stream a week and a half ago, little mama gave birth to 3 pups. Exactly 1 week and about 4 hours, 1 week and 4 hours later, Big Mama gave birth to 3 pups. So that's 6 pups that are a week in difference. Now, now I know I weighed them, but I gotta find the weight. Yeah, January 20th, I had Rusty at 1 pound 4 ounce. In other words, I haven't gained much weight this week because 1 pound 4 ounces. Shadow's 1 pound and 0.8 ounces, and Two-Face was 1 pound 1.8 ounces. But on the babies, little mama's babies, I weighed them Wednesday evening, right after giving them time to settle down with their being born. Uh, this is January 25th. Little Blackie, who's a week old, weighs 4.8 ounces. Half wing, that's one with like a little bit of white on its forehead, but not very much. He weighed 4.6 ounces. An Angel weighs 4.6 ounces. But Big Mama's babies, one with a black head, is 4.7 ounces. This is just a few hours after being born. The one with a black heart on its back is 4.1 ounce. And Little Red, she's got more of her mother's rusty markings, but more on her head. She's 4.1 ounce. So the others is just about the same size as the ones that are a week older. So you know which ones are the meat size and which one are pet size. Mark, are you back with your daughter? Because Kira had a test stream live last night. Now, what's everybody else's success stories for this week? I see those thumbs up, Andy. Yeah, you guys are behind. 7 people here and only 4 thumbs up. And I know SO gave me 2. So that means 4 people haven't said thumbs up yet. Oh, we lost somebody. She says, oops, I only did 1. I forgot 1. Andy says, we got the rabbit roof standing back up right and taped the hole up. That is wonderful, Andy. Andy says she got her 2 likes in. Well, I know next week I'm buying some hydroponic stuff. Today I'm going to end up making doing microgreens. And I'll plant those right in the animal room. Oh man, these sinuses are bad. Air's bad. Huh. Wonder why my mic isn't working. Hmm. There we go. It wasn't plugged all the way in. Somehow it came loose. Now, does this sound better, everybody? Andy says, I'm glad the rabbit roof was not a need to fix right this second job. It will wait until warmer weather. I don't blame you one bit. Can everybody hear me all right? Andy says they're pretty colors. But can you hear me? No change in sound on my end. It was working fine before and after. Because that was on my computer mic. That wasn't on the other mic. Andy says, yes, I can hear you. It's getting warmer outside, and I don't know why my apartment is so freezing. Andy says, whisper to us. Did you guys hear it? Well, I guess nobody heard that one. I guess you can't hear them whispering. Did anybody hear that one? Gratitude Branch. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Matt. Oh, Annie said she doesn't think it's going through the. No, it's running through all the colors. Let me check here if I can do anything. Oh, I started the live stream with the computer one, so it's not going to work on this one, I guess. That's because they're on the regular computer microphone. Because it stays with whatever you started with, since I'm not using a streaming service. Matt says, good morning, Verna. Hi, Andy. Morning, Steve, and everyone else. Hey, Matt, are you having a live stream this afternoon after I get done with mine? A Farmer KC chat? Jesse says, we're only supposed to be in the teens here today and get 3 to 5 of snow. It's been snowing since before 7 this morning. Oh, Jesse, I didn't need to hear that. Where are you at again, Jesse? Matt says Sunday morning. We are tomorrow morning here this week. Okay. Yeah, that's right. You do have a Sunday morning with KC. And Matt says, Farmer Casey excited. Hi, Farmer Casey. Andy says, Hummy told me last night that it says more snow for us too. And Jesse's in Iowa, the frozen tundra area. She says, please keep that snow up there. Way up there. I agree, cuz. Matt at Gratitude Ranch says, we're watching you on the couch. It's cold this morning. I know it's cold here, and the temperature's all the way up to 37 degrees. But I feel like it's 37 degrees in my apartment. But the jumbo white wings, I am really, really pleased with their sizes. Matt says 18 here, no snow though. Y'all can keep it. Ugh. Andy says, as long as I can keep using the rabbit watering system, I'll be okay with the snow. I really just like taking water out to them all. Yeah, and yeah, I meant jumbo whites because you're right. You caught me when you said a white wing. Think you mean whites. I do agree. Okay. Hey, Matt, my jumbo whites, the hen's average weight is 10.68 ounces. This is at 6 weeks. And the roo's average weight is 9.42. But my heaviest birds are the roosters. I got two of them that's 12 ounces each. Yeah, I don't even know. Echo, what's our forecast for today?
Right now in Franklin, it's 36 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly sunny skies. Today's forecast has lots of clouds, with a high of 51 degrees and a low of 36 degrees.
Echo, what's the wind chill factor?
Right now, the wind chill is 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect it'll feel like 47 degrees.
You guys catch all that? Matt's agreeing with Andy. And Matt says, wow, Verna, very good. I had a hatch of all jumbo whites. One got aggressive at night, and my birds all looked like a murder scene. All okay, though. And then he says, morning, Jesse. Um, Yesterday morning, I found one white. He looked like he had an injury right about his ear area, but he was laying on the bottom of the cage up by where the eggs roll out. And no, Lucy, she has to get in the picture. And it was almost dead. And so Lucy ended it up with quail for breakfast. Buster says hi to you all. Hi, Buster. Glad to see you. Matt says, good morning, Buster. Now, Lucy, you need to get off, baby. I'm busy. You're like a preschooler. But only having four females is a little sad. But that can be taken care of. Matt says, LOL, my dog does the same. Yeah, the minute you get on live stream, they want your attention because you're giving other people all your attention. And they say, well, where's my attention? Yeah, Matt, keep laughing. Keep laughing. I felt rough this morning, like I still do. As you can tell, my eyes are hardly open. And I just let her run to go out. She says she doesn't understand you talking to us. It's just you and her. You must be talking to her. No, she understands. It's like she knows when I'm speaking into the phone. And she listens to the conversations. So when I get a phone call and someone saying they're on their way, So when I hang up the phone, she goes by the door. She knows somebody's on their way. And he says, my cats like to get between my eyes and my phone. Yeah, attention seekers is what they are. Right now, I got the animal room door closed, so we don't hear a lot of roosters and cavies wanting attention. I swear, there's a big draft in my apartment. If I can figure out where the heck it's coming through, all the windows got plastic on it, but one in the kitchen. Matt says, someone told me once that dogs don't understand mistakes. So when you wake up in the middle of the night and trip over them, they think you got up in the middle of the night to kick them. Animals are great. Yeah, because even though it's bad attention, you gave them attention. And he says, I just looked over, haha. My cat is watching you on the TV. And he says he may have seen Lucy. Yep, at least part of her head. I tell you guys what, not only does Big Mama give big babies, but each litter is prettier than the one before it. So I got to get a choke chain so I can process the three that are dinner size. Jesse says, I just came out to leave for work. We are close to an inch already. I want spring. So do I. Echo, what's tomorrow's forecast?
Tomorrow in Franklin, you'll see showers and can expect a high of 46 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 31 degrees.
Do you guys hear that forecast? Warm and rainy tomorrow. Andy says, if I was up your way, I would come and watch and help you. Yeah, my problem is I can't video something like that when I need both hands to do what I'm doing. So that's why I just show the finished products. Yeah, but I've been doing the research and I can't see myself put my hand around a furry head to break the neck. I'd rather do it where they get loving and don't know what's going to happen until it happens, until it's done. And he says, I don't know, Jesse. Spring brings summer, and last summer was enough for a few years for me. I wonder what the farmer's forecast is predicting for this summer's weather to be like. I got the Quail math going on here. Good. 7 people and 7 likes. That's good. Andy says, wait a minute, no. SO says, Andy, it's only this far on the map. And he says, I hope it's not anywhere as hot as last summer. Then she laughs at Steve. How many people have a a shade cloth for their garden? Because that might save your tomatoes and stuff this summer. Matt says, I have to use them in New Mexico here. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is people, it's been getting so hot here sometimes in the summer. But when you have a summer night that's like 90 degrees, that means it doesn't cool down at all after dark. Matt says strategic planting too, like sunflowers on the west side for afternoon sun and shade. Yep. Andy says, I didn't use on any vegetables. Steve says, no shade cloth as I don't get it to garden. Maybe I'll get a yard this year. I'm watching 1.5 acres. That's cool. You're going to feel land rich if you get that 1.5 acres because but the shade tent that Ed sent to QuailCon was a big help. Matt says, so you plan on any plants this year, Verna? Yeah, I'm looking into a hydroponic system, Matt, and that way I'll have that in the center of the animal room. And I'll have a few plants outside, and I might put a tomato plant outside, some potato slips, but then again, yeah, because I got a bunch of potato slips growing. And I'm gonna put one potato plant in the bird room because that's good for quail and koi. She says it backs up to a 500-acre conservation area. I may get to borrow some more. And he says you should make some window hanging boxes, Verna. Well, the window hanging boxes don't do good here. And Andy says, nice, Steve, about backing up to a conservatory area. Yeah, you can extend your garden a little bit in there. And that way, if they say anything, you can say it's for to feed the wild animals. And he leaves the keyboard. AFK, away from keyboard. Stephanie says, good morning, everyone. Hey, Steph, you lost all my updates, so I have to go over them again. On the koi, the ones for freezer camp are all over a pound. The newborn babies, Big Mama's newborns, are the same weight as Little Mama's week old babies. And Matt says, "Good morning, Stephanie." And he says, "I don't know what I'm going to plant this year. Some bell peppers for the piggies, tomatoes mostly, and she also says hello to Stephanie. Yeah, I want to grow some peas, and I want to do it hydroponically. Matt says, plant saffron. Matt, I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? I bought some saffron bulbs because I am that enthused on the saffron. But I gave them away to people I highly cherish. I gave some to Jenna and I gave some to my nurse. And he says, "Is that the little purple flowers?" They're a kind of big flowers, Andy, and they have three long strings like this. That is your saffron. Um, Saffrons come from a crocus. Welcome back, cuz. I got the yawns because I had to take some Benadryl and I only got 7 hours sleep after 36 hours of being awake. I was so hyped up night before last and last night doing research on things. And I'll be right back. I need some more coffee. It's okay, Lucy. I just dropped the skillet, but it can wait. So last night I put 2 trays of shredded butternut squash, um, 1 1/3 tray of eggplant, and 2/3 of a tray of diced green peppers. And Matt passed out coffee. And Steve says, Matt took my job, so he passes out donuts. Annie says she didn't sleep much last night, went to sleep at 3 and up at 7. And she asks Steve if he's slacking. No, Matt's just being a good host real quick, and Steve just got back to the keyboard a minute. Yeah, this year has been so painful with this weather change that it even hurts down here. You know who hasn't been around lately? And that is Aaron and Katrina. Stephanie, did you leave already? Don't forget this afternoon you have an appointment to look at new babies. I really hope you pick out Angel. Andy says she feels like she's getting a sore throat. Yeah, me, I'm congested. My ear hurts a lot. And you guys can see my eyes, how swelled up they are. And Stephanie says, nope, I'm here. She's going to see all those babies and she's just going to giggle. Stephanie says, I sure hope that you can get better. Freezer! Yusuf Freezer says, hello, Verna and everybody. Hello, Yusuf. Good to see you this morning. She says Stephanie will need one from Little Mama and Big Mama. No, she's told she can pick from Little Mama's litter. She's not allowed to have Big Mama's litter. They're too special of a litter. Matt says my phone's going to force an update. Gotta go. Have a great day, Verna. Have a good day, y'all. Casey says bye as well. Well, Casey and Matt have a blessed day. Andy says, funny, but when I type on my phone, Aaron's name keeps coming up in the auto type bar. Well, Andy, that's because even your phone is telling you to tag Aaron. And Freezer's grinning. Matt says, be back in a few. Okay, Matt. Andy says, bye, Matt and Casey. Stephanie says, what's a special litter? Stephanie, you know what I do with animals I raise for meat. And by the way, I'm having quail breasts tonight. You still haven't tried quail yet. On a special letter, Stephanie, as Big Mama's babies are big. And Cuz says, Stephanie, you haven't had the good meat? Stephanie says, oh yeah, and I will do it tonight. I'll believe it when I see it. Andy says, you tag. What do you mean by that exactly? When you share a post and put the person's name in when it says say something? User says, did you ever try cut meat yet? I mean, koi meat. No, freezer. As soon as I get me a choke chain, I will be processing. Yes, Andy, on Facebook. I will be processing the 3 8-week olds. I think they're 8 weeks. They were born in December. Say, 7 week olds, rather. Eddie says, I don't know his last name. Steve tells you right there. It even shows you how to spell it. Hey, Bruno. Good to see you. Bruno says hello. And Cuz says, morning, Bruno. And Bruno said hello again. How are you doing, Bruno? Hey, Steve, we need to also get Bill in here. Bruno says, okay, getting a little busy. So you're working right now, or do you mean in at your farm? Stephanie says, what's going in the quail that you're going to bake? I don't know if I'm going to bake them or fry them. Steve says, does Bill even have any free time? I don't know, but he needs to keep his mind busy. And he needs our support. And Bruno says, yeah, farm. Teresa says, I'm converting my old quail pen into a coop that will have grow outs in it. Grow out what, Yusuf? Oh, and Yusuf, I really enjoyed our talk and talking to your mom again. Yusuf says chickens, quails, who knows, maybe turkeys. You're right, Stephanie. You're saying exactly what I've told you umpteen times. That if you like Cornish hens or duck, you should like the quail. You also need to try an egg. But I tell you what, quail beats out all other meats, in my opinion. And he says, I shared it and tagged him. I sent him a friend request too. LOL. Steve says, wait. She hasn't even tried an egg. Hey, cuz, she was afraid, even if they were deviled eggs or hard boiled eggs or fried. She was afraid to try them because all she could think of is baby chicks. And he says, yes, Stephanie, you will then. Yusuf says, I wish we even had our own acre of land. Then I would pasture raise quail and broilers. You can't put them together, Yusuf. because the natural diseases that a chicken can fight off is too much of a quantity for a quail to fight off. And he says, it's official. My husband likes quail eggs. Yeah, and with you having quail for Christmas dinner, he also calls the quail turkeys, don't he? Because he loved those too. Yusuf says, not together, in tractors. Yeah, you can't, you don't even want to run a tractor, cross the tractor runs. And he says, Stephanie, all eggs could be a baby chick, no different than a chicken eggs. She says it would be nice to have a 12-foot fence and have quail all over the yard. Though with the number of hawks that fly around here, I'd be missing a lot of quail. Not if they're in tractors, Steve. Freezer says, my mom says hi. Hi, Mom! And he says, yes, he does, Verna. Stephanie says, I know it's all in my mind. Aaron, good morning. Aaron says, just dropped in to get my like and say hello. Lane got selected to play in the elite basketball end of the season game. Have a great day, everybody. Tell Lane I says, have fun. And he says, hubby just says quail are too small. He's a lazy eater. Bruno says, you can't raise quail with chickens together. You risk losing all your quail when you do. Number one, the chicken to eat the quail. Number two, the chicken carries a higher number of pathogens that will all wipe out a quail. Aaron says, hi, Andy. She says, Stephanie, I have a grandson that has the same problem. When he saw them as chicks, he wouldn't even do the eggs. And he says, good luck at the game. Bruno says, I did not know this. Yeah, you can have them in the same coop as long as the roosters, as long as the chickens can't roost on the quail cages. That's fine that way, but you can't put them in the same, you can't put them to where quail can roost on them and stuff like that because they'll get sick. She says, well, hello, Aaron. You must have felt your ears burning. No, Andy tagged him. Yeah, Lane is really good at whatever he sets his mind to. And he says, good luck at the game. Bruno says, I did not know this. C says, well, hello, Aaron Gidros. You must have felt your ears burning. And he says, my granddaughter told me I need to get better eggs because mine are wired. When they crack, babies come out, and I need to get better eggs. The ones that when are cracked, food comes out. Bruno says, no, so not in an open coop run together. Oh no, your chickens would eat the quail, thinking that they were on a smorgasbord, Bruno. Bruno says, really? Yeah, really. Chickens will eat anything smaller than they are. They'll even eat rats. So you know A timid little quail is going to be dinner for them. She says not to mention how much meaner the chickens are at hen pecking for their pecking order. Stephanie says, ugh. And he says, I hatched too many eggs last year. Ha ha. Chicken eggs or quail eggs, Andy. You can never have too many quail. What gets me is that it takes 9 months from hatching before a chicken will lay an egg, whereas with quail, it's only 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. Yusuf says, I don't know if they'll be able to kill the quail in the whole coop, but if one is injured, they were probably going to eat it. Yusuf, chickens will kill and eat quail. Period. Andy, quail only I don't do chickens. I don't do chickens either. I haven't had a chicken egg for 3 or 4 years. She says, Andy, I didn't know you could put those words together. Hatch too many eggs. See, that is just a nightmare. She keeps reoccurring. Yusuf says, I saw a hen eat frogs. Well, if they can eat a frog and they'll even eat their own, so they'll eat a quail. Stephanie says, I knew chicken eats anything, but good grief, rats too? Yep. They'll eat the rat if the rat don't eat them first. She says, I saw a couple of chickens attack, kill, and eat a rattlesnake. Yeah, that's true. Stephanie says, I'm going to be sick, lol. Yusuf says, Stephanie, yes, but not New York City rats, lol. Well, probably not Little Rock's river rats either, because in Arkansas, the river rats get bigger than cats. And he says, for my granddaughter, it is. She missed eating the eggs. She is so happy now. I'm cooking the eggs again. She says she likes quail eggs better than any other eggs. Well, tell your granddaughter that she's a mini me. Verna says, can I just, can I put just hatched chicken with 2-week-old baby quail? No. That would not be advisable. C says, we have river rats at Friend's Pond. We've killed a few, but I haven't gotten him to cook one yet. Hey, cuz, just skin it, gut it, clean it, and cook it. Bruno says, crap. I'm sorry, Bruno, to be a bad news to all your ideas. Andy says, I'm raising a little farm girl in the middle of town, haha. Stephanie says, seriously? That two newly hatched chickens will eat 2-week-old quail babies? Yeah. It's just like, Vermont says, well, I will have to separate them. You already got them together? Yeah, if you want to keep your quail, you better separate them. Stephanie says, no about eating rats. Luna said, okay. Stephanie, don't you watch YouTube on some ways that they're living, mostly in Europe and Africa and stuff, in third world countries, they not only eat worms, crickets, black soldier fly larvae, they also eat rats. There you go, Stephanie. Andy says, Stephanie, chickens eat meat and a small amount of veggies on top of their grain, that is, or seeds. Bruno says they also eat people. LOL. No, Bruno, that may be, I don't know if that would be true. I guess if somebody died in their pen, yeah. But pigs will eat people. Stephanie says, who? Who what? And he says, well, Verna, grain, I think of as vegetables. Ah. Yusuf says, I mean, chickens share same DNA with dinosaurs, so. Stephanie says, we'll eat people. Someone, Bruno said that the chickens will eat people. Now, there are tribes in Africa that will eat people too. She says, so now I'm educating them on how to raise their chickens. Oh, I missed one. She says, went to a friend's house yesterday. They tossed a bunch of old-grown greens out. I asked why they didn't feed them to their chickens. They have it. They have 8. So now I'm educating them on how to raise their chickens. You know, Steve, we educate a lot of people on self-sufficiency all the time. Yusuf says, SO, when we had chickens, we begged everyone for their chicken scraps. Frieza says, I wish Quail ate kitchen scraps. They can eat some of the greens in your kitchen scraps, but not. There's a lot of things they can't eat. They can't eat avocado. They can't eat green parts, tomatoes, peppers, or eggplants. But anything that has a seed in it, they will try to eat it. She says they will eat most of your scraps. Just have to keep a few things out of it. And he says, I have one chicken that runs the yard. I have grandkids that will not go out there. The chicken beats the cat up every day, and when we feed the cat. The chicken beats her, Phil, as well as the cat sits and watches. And he says, then the cat eats after the chicken leaves the food. Yusuf says probably a rooster. And he says, then the cat eats after the chicken leaves. Oh, I already read that. Yeah, Andy's got a chicken that beats up a cat that beats up a pit bull. And he says, I meant the chicken eats her fill as the cat watches. She says, I can break that chicken of it, that activity. Oh, yeah, you can break that activity by sending it to freezer camp, huh, Steve? Stephanie says, that's hilarious. Andy says, nope, it's a hen. She lays eggs. She says, just need a side of mashed taters. Yeah, I got 4 quail breasts that I pulled out of the freezer last night. So I'll probably spatchcock the breasts and dip them in seasoned flour and fry them. And he says, oh, but Steve, it's too fun to watch. Yusuf says, my camp. Yusuf, dear, you got to put more than 1 or 2 words. You got to make at least a partial sentence so I can understand what you're talking about. Stephanie, your name's not Freezer. Ah, Yusuf says, I'm saying Freezer Camp is my camp. And Steve agrees, Freezer Camp. Stephanie says, oops, LOL. See, they don't run around one person. We're all a big community here. Hey, you guys, if and when Stephanie comes up, I'll have to video her taking her first bite of quail. Then I'll put that as one of my live streams. Eddie says the funny part is she wants everyone to pet her. She will get up in front of you and stop until you pet her. And she walks around our legs until we feed the cats. Ha ha ha. She don't eat chicken feed. She says, way to scare her. No, cuz Stephanie likes being videoed. Stephanie's got shy of the camera. She likes to primp and she likes it. Jan says, I had a quail that was used to haul a freezer camp. I think he was psychic. Guess what? His vision came true. Verna says, I've finally been doing up my meals, cutting the food bill down. They taste very good, about done with the bloodbath. Well, with it being a bloodbath, that must be you're talking about chickens. Jan says, used to say freezer camp. Eddie says, I got the chicken to hatch out quail eggs. She did a few batches. That's cool. Ah, Bruno, quail. Well, I don't think of it really as much of a bloodbath because they don't hardly have any blood in them. Pardon me a minute, people. Good morning, Gail. Gail says, good morning. I've been tuned in a short while listening to Bruno's laptop with him. Sounds like everyone's having fun this morning. Yeah, there's lots of laughs as usual, Gail. She says James likes to hold the quail after the head comes off and spray the blood. He's a strange little boy. He also says, good morning, Gail. Andy says, "Oh my, Steve." Yeah, James is funny. Andy says, "I can also almost see my granddaughter doing that." And Gail says, "Good morning, SO." Stephanie says, "Verna, does Bill eat quail?" I haven't, I don't know. I think when he first moved here, I gave him some meat. She says he does a great job butchering them. Jasmine gave him an up close training session at QuailCon. And Andy says, "Good morning, Gail." Andy says, "Just say yes, Verna." But Andy, if I don't know, I have to say I don't know. I've only got 4 little breasts, Stephanie, so that's at most is enough for 2 people, not for 4. Gail says, "Good morning, Andy Rabbit." Andy says, "I'm just joking about that." Yeah, Stephanie knows I eat it, and I eat it like crazy. I think once she tries the quail, she's going to be tackling that quail about like she does chicken. Bruno asks, "Fat cocking. Is that the best way to do up quail?" It depends on what you're going to use it for, Bruno. If you're going to fry it, yes. If you're going to bake it, possibly. Steve says, "I gave someone some quail one time to try. They told me later they were afraid and threw them out. No more quail for them." Yeah, that bothers the heck out of me too. I told I told you guys what I got in the freeze dryer. I've told you what the size of my 6-week quail are. I told you about the size of all my koi pups. And he says, "Now the one thing I'm not saying anything about is when I made chicken noodle soup, half rabbit and half chicken. They're similar, just like koi tastes like chicken, or tastes like rabbit that tastes like chicken." But I heard they say that koi tastes like the dark part of chicken. She says, "They'll never know, Andy. The secret is safe with us." Yeah, because which one of us hasn't added quail to other meats to make it spread further? Somebody says, "Which parts are dark meat?" It's all, Stephanie, all of quail is dark meat. There's no white meat. Gail says, "After Bruno talks to the quail and pets its neck while they watch videos together, seriously, I really don't have the heart to eat them." Just because they're food, Gail, doesn't mean you have to be distant with them. Somebody says, "No, I meant on the chicken. The dark meat of chicken are the drum thighs in the back." She says, "Dark meat, though, definitely not as juicy, greasy." Right. They're not as juicy or greasy as the dark meat on a chicken. Andy says, Stephanie, it's all dark meat, but not exactly like chicken dark meat. Yeah, because it's not greasy and stringy. Freezer says, gotta go. Bye. Have a great life. You have a blessed day, Freezer. And give your mom a hug for me. I really love his mom. She's such a sweetie. Andy says, bye, Yusuf Freezer. Yusuf says, yep. Yeah, his mother, he knows his mother is a sweetie. C says, chicken top, breasts and wings are white meat. Bottom, back legs and thighs are dark meat. Yep. But on quail, it's all dark meat. Meat. Spam Potstow, I think that's his name, is waving. Good morning, Spam. Oh, Bill got his birthday present, a pair of booties that I was sewing Wednesday. And he was surprised that they fit so well. Spam, I'm not sure what you're doing with those emojis. Michelle says, that's nice. Right now, this is what I'm working on. A poncho for my nurse's birthday. And he says, that's cool. I hope he enjoys them. Andy, I had him try them on so I can make sure that's what that they fit. And he was all excited. Span says, that's cool. And he says, that is looking good. And Stephanie says, that's beautiful. Yeah, my nurse's birthday is in a couple weeks. So I got a couple weeks to get that done. And I'm already over halfway done. And I got to work on cookbooks, y'all. Andy says she will enjoy that. Well, she requested that I make her a poncho for her birthday. And she told me that she really loved that colorful teal, gray, and white part. It's called Deep Waters. But she also loves the eggplant that I put in it too. Because I knew I wasn't going to have enough yarn of the one kind for the poncho. Dawn says, good morning, everyone. I just hit the likes as I came in. Thank you, Dawn, and good morning to you, too. Wow, it's already 11:19. Steve says, good morning, Dawn. Hey, Spam, how many quail do you have? And he says, my birthday is in September. My favorite color is pink and teal. Okay, Andy. That's cool. My birthday's May 11th. I was born on Mother's Day. Dawn says, good morning, Steve. Andy says, good morning, Dawn. She says, I think Andy left a hint. No, she didn't leave a hint. She left a request. Andy says, haha, Verna, I'm just joking about that. Andy should know better than to joke with me. And Dawn says, oh, Andy, my birthday is October and teal is my favorite color. Bruno says, winter seems to have hit here now. In the next week, it's going to get very cold here, they say. Andy says, oh, am I? Yeah, Andy, I got your request loud and clear. I mean, one back scratches another back. What do you bring me at QuailCon? I know what to bring you at QuailCon. Spam says, no quails, cockatiels. Do you raise any animals for meat, Spam? Andy says, wow, Dawn, no wonder why we get along so good. Randy says, haha, Verna, I'm just joking about that. I missed that. Andy, Spam says, no. Can I ask you, Spam, what draws you to this live stream? John says, Andy, that is freaky. Even our husbands do the same rotten things they do when they do them. She says, I had a cockatiel. Her name was Smokey. She loved me. My daughters were given a pair of cockatiels. They did not last in my house very long. I got rid of them. They were vicious. She says she got her name when she would steal my cigarettes. And he says, I know, Dawn, it's almost crazy. She says, at Spam. Live, not slide. I think Spam's being a spam right now. Andy says, Steve, my kids had a pet rat that would steal cigarettes. John says, St. Louis radio station had a rent a chick commercial. Rent the coop, give you the chicks, feed, supplies, and you get to keep the eggs. That's what the quail community is doing. A lot of them are getting into run an incubator, run a chick commercial. Run a chicks where you rent the incubator and you get a bunch of eggs and everything you need to set up. That goes in there. Already got one lit. Oh, Spam says, I like California quails. Well, you should see into raising them, Spam. She says, I saw one of those $375 for chickens, 4 chickens. And he says, I wonder if that's from that one lady Zach had on once. Can't remember her name, but I'm friends with her on Facebook. I don't know. She says, I doubt that was from Linda. Spam, could you please get rid of the icons so much? They're very distracting. Steve says she's more local in California. And her is a hatching at home. Yeah, hatching at home project. Spam says at dawn. I am not sure. Thank you, Spam. Andy says yes, that's her name. Andy says she has classes to teach people to do it. John says, Spam, if you are thinking about it, you take your time and research. It took me months before I started. She says, Spam, are you in the United States or another country? Spam says, are you okay, Bay? Yeah, Spam, I just had some saliva go down in my windpipe. Dawn says, Steve, is that price the monthly rental cost? Spam says, yes, I will think. Somebody keeps tearing up my phone here. A bunch of stupid notifications. Spam, what country are you in? And Spam, do you raise koi? Koi? Katrina says, good morning, everyone, from Gilroy, California. I hope you are doing well, Verna. Thank you, Katrina, and good to see you this morning. She says, Dom, not a monthly fee. It's like a one-time charge. You get the supplies, chickens, etc., and then you give it back later. It's pretty pricey considering you only get 4 chickens for eggs. You know, Steve, a lot of people are doing on Rena Hatch for quail, and they're doing good at it. Good at it. Oh, it was brought to my attention. If you guys are doing the run a hatch business with quail and you're busy a lot, and if you want to refer them to somebody that will help them with their hatching, you can always send them my way. Everybody's saying good morning to Katrina. And Dawn says, Steve, that is crazy. Katrina says, good morning, SO, Andy, and Dawn. Stephanie says, good morning, Katrina. Now, Katrina is live on Monday nights on So and Tear, um, 6 o'clock, I think, Pacific time, which makes it 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And Stephanie said good morning. And Katrina said good morning to Stephanie. Katrina says thanks, Verna. Katrina, we're a team. You don't need to thank me. I like putting it out there because you give a lot more videos than I do. And in your urban homestead, you grow a heck of a lot. I just feel lucky to call you a friend. Andy says, I'm trying to get in the habit of watching Katrina live. Katrina says, thanks, Andy. And Andy says, you're welcome. C says, you never know what we'll talk about with So and Tara on Mondays. It's like the fun class in school. Katrina says, Verna, how is your arrow garden going? I'm going to have to do a video of everything in my animal room, Katrina, and post it this week. It's going to be about everything I have in there. I'm getting plenty of lettuce from the arrow garden. And that's got me thinking about making me an arrow tower to put in the quail room, the animal room. And he's saying 10-pound quails, LOL. Yeah, that was cute. Now, for those that weren't here when I said it earlier, my 6-week quail, I'm already getting eggs. Today's my second day of getting eggs. Uh, the female sizes are from 9.1 ounce to 11.5 ounce, with the average of 10.68 ounces. The males run from 6.7 ounce to 12.1 ounce. Their average is 9.45 ounces. I only tagged two of the males. One of them was 12.1 ounce and the other one was exactly 12 ounces. So you know I'm keeping them. Uh, all four of my females were branded too. They were wearing the red bands that I get like this. And the thing about these is they grow with the quail. So you don't have to worry about hurting them. And the red is for my females and the blue is for my males. And he says, I wonder if the stacked planters, if Verna could use the house. I bought some from Dollar Tree last year. The stacked planters I could use outside, but I want some things that I don't have very much room there. But I'm using the stacking, it's a 3-bucket tower where your 5-gallon buckets, each bucket will have 2 rounds of 5 plants. So that means I can grow 30 plants there. I want to grow some peas there. And it's run the same way as an arrow garden in a way, except for you use a fish tank pump to pump the water up at the top so that when it sprinkles out with the sprinkler head and the way the buckets have the holes in it and the plugs in it, all the nutrition rich water will come down the sides where the roots are. Just a minute and I'll see if I can send you guys the link to the one that I'm talking about. Let me see. Let me find it here. It's a cheap and easy do-it-yourself hydroponic system. Right there, you guys. Yeah, the stacking planters, they are called the green stackers planters. And he says it's like a flexible wristband and keychains. That's exactly what I got them from. Andy says, thanks, Steve. Oh, you're talking about the bands. Okay, Andy, I misunderstood. Let me let me be right back. Oh, I hear you. Okay, I got a bunch of these from Amazon. This is the color I'm using on the females right now. And you just cut the link. You cut this off. Yeah, you're right, Katrina. Green stalk is not from the dollar store. But these here, I got 100 of them pretty cheap on Amazon. Let me see if I can find the link to those. Katrina says, how long have you been using those bands? And I just started, Andy. I mean, Katrina. But I've seen it somewhere that somebody else was using them. So I went and got some. They're cheaper than other bands, that's for sure. Let me go under buy again. Oh, okay. So you spend 20. You might as well say $20 for 100 of these. That's less than $1 a piece. Paste. There you go. Sandy says, please bring me a purple one when you let Lucy out, and I'll give you money for it. Stephanie, you're going to be coming up here, so why should I have to bring you one? And this morning I was so far behind schedule, I just let Lucy go potty by herself. And you want me to dig for a purple one? That's asking a lot. Katrina says, Lucy, the delivery puppy, maybe? No. And he says, hey, Don, if you click on the link, it should be in your watch history, not a watch later. Or I can give you the link later. Jan says, Verna, how do you determine the length of the band? Well, you want to make it about 3 or 4 links. And what you do is when you grab your quill, you lay them on your lap and keep a finger on them while you're holding on to a leg and just wrap it around. Steve says, Steve says, Stephanie, it's going to be a big day for you today. A purple band, freshly cooked quail. Who knows? Maybe a fried egg, too. John says, Andy, thank you. I got it. And Stephanie's laughing. All that happen if and when Stephanie comes upstairs. She says, on a phone, hold your fingers on the link and you get a copy option. Shiloh Doggy says, the Amazon link won't work. I think it's trying to take me to your buy again account. That's what it's trying to do. It's trying to take you to the one thing that I posted when I opened it up. It's not taking you to my account because you don't have my password. Dawn says, Steve, I'm on a computer. Let me try something, Dawn. Okay, Dawn, you're on the computer. You right click where the link is, and you'll get a tab that says open link in a new tab, open link in a new window, open link in incognito window. Just a minute, you guys. Let me see what kind of call this is. Hello? Well, it's one of those spam calls. So it gets blocked. Yep. She says it will take us to our buy again. Dawn says it's just right click and open it. Steve says right click and select open a new window. Dawn says, Steve, that is what I did, and it's there to watch later. Thank you. So we have a couple new people in here today. We got Spam and we got Shiloh. Welcome, newbies. If you have questions, I'm here to answer the best of my ability. Oh, that didn't take you down to where I wanted it to take you. Let me see. Shiloh, try this one. Oops, it's not letting it do it. All you have to do is go to Amazon and type in I don't know why it does that. It makes me so mad when they do. The link to the things are just it's too many characters. It's like 55 characters longer than what they allow. But let me get the name of the product so that you can so that you can search it that way. Shadow says the Amazon link won't work. I think it's trying to take me to. Okay, I already got that. Shadow says I found 100 for 19 on Amazon. That's exactly what it was, Shiloh. All you gotta do is ask them for the stretchable spiral bracelet, coil keychain, or the wrist coil keychains. Shiloh says thank you. So Shiloh, you raising quail or koi or what animals? Oh wow, it's almost over already today. We got 17 likes. Only need 3 more likes to get to that 20. Shiloh raises quail. Are they returning quail, Shiloh? Or Bob Whites or California or Button? She says, what state are you in, Shiloh? So there are Caturnix. What state or country are you in, Shiloh? In the freeze dryer, I have 2 trays of shredded butternut squash raw. Um, 1 1/3 tray with the full tray being double layer of eggplant slices, and 2/3 of a tray with chopped green peppers. And when this comes out, I see Steve says 18 likes, but you can say 17, huh? Well, all I see is 17, and I see we have 10 people in here. And I want to welcome everybody for joining me today. And Gail's laughing at Steve. I got two little scratches on my fingers from the quail. Those talons are razor sharp. And he says, I'm going to order some of the keychains. Bet they are crazy to get on and off. Well, if you have anybody help you, they can hold the quail so that you can have two hands to do it. But I did it all by myself, Andy. I laid the quail on my back. On their back between right where my legs come together, by my knees. You know, when you have them close together. Laid them there, kept a finger on them while I opened on one loop and then just wrapped it around. And he says it looks like they will grow with them too. I meant crazy. Oh, you meant easy. Okay. Yeah, they're easy to get on and off for you. Bruno wants to know how many times a year do quails molt? Usually twice a year. John says, on my back, I almost had coffee come out of my nose laughing. Steve says, depends on their age, Bruno. It can be twice a year. But you know, if you have your birds molting right now, are you feeding them dew more? And is your egg count the same that it's been? Because dew more, our producer's pride, will make them look like they're going through a molt and they're not laying eggs right. And that's because you need to cook up some lentils and rice to give them the missing nutrients that are in the dew more or producer's pride. And I bet that if they are going molting, that if you gave them lentils and rice, that would help them through their molt quicker and help them lay eggs while they're molting. Because usually when they're molting, their egg production slacks down a little bit. The C says if they're over 6 months, they'll do about November and March. Bruno says feeding 22% Farina game bird. Yeah, but it's not just the protein they need when they're molting. Those other nutrients I told you that are in the lentils and rice when you cook them together, that would help them on the small amount that they're getting from their own feed of the, let me find the words in here, the chemicals that they're lacking, what they could be lacking when they're not laying. It is lysine, methylamine, and casein. That's Lycine. The other one is Metheolw 9. And the other one is Cystine. And time and tempered. Jasmine says, I'm super late, but had to stop by and say hello. Hey, Jasmine. She says, when mine molt, I mix a regular game bird with the starter. That's good too, Steve. And he says, well, good morning, Jasmine. And Andy says, hello, Jasmine. And Bruno says, what is them? Those are micronutrients they need to lay eggs. Jasmine says, good morning, friends, Steve and Andy. On pouch, she left me out. Katrina says, I feed back scrambled eggs when they molt. Eggshells and all goes into a blender. That way they get extra protein, calcium, etc. Katrina says, hi, Jasmine. Nikki Jane says, morning all, coffee, slept in today. Good morning, Nikki. Bruno says, okay. Jasmine says, I also do the same, SO. She says, don't forget to hit your likes so we can hit 20 this morning. Yeah, because I'm still showing 17. Jasmine says, LOL, hi V. I didn't leave you out on purpose. And she blows me a kiss. I know, I just had to pick on you. That's all. There she says, hi, Katrina and Nikki. Hey, you guys, I need to get some more coffee. Maybe we'll go a little longer today since everybody's running late. Okay, since we have a lot of people that just joined us, I'll highlight once again the updates going on here. My lettuce is doing great in my arrow garden. I've been feeding some of the big loose leaf lettuce to the guinea pigs. Now I got to leave it alone for a couple of weeks. In the freeze dryer, I have shredded butternut squash, uh, 2 trays of that, a double layer and 1/3 of another tray of sliced eggplant, and 2/3 of a tray of chopped bell peppers. Um, the koi that was the older of the baby kois, the first set, are now all over a little over a pound. Little Mama's pups, which is Little Blackie, on January 25th weighed 4.8 ounces. Half Wing weighed 4.6 ounces. And Angel weighed 4.6 ounces. But on that very same day, when Little Mama gave birth when her babies were just a year old. I mean, were just um, a couple hours old. The blackhead baby, which is that's the only black it has on it, is 4.7 ounces. The one that has a black heart on its back has 4.1 ounces. In little red, in other words, it's got like a redhead, is 4.1 ounces. That means that Big Mama's newborns are the same size as Little Mama's week-old babies. Now, Jasmine says, got my 2 likes in to make up for my lateness. Great, Jasmine. Yeah, it shows 19 here. And C says, I'll do Jesse's job. And he hands out coffee again, like he usually does. See, Jesse, you start, but you don't finish. Mm-hmm. Jasmine says, hey, Jesse. Yes, LOL. It's awesome. And I picked a spot for it. Thank you. Oh, Jesse's talking about, hey, Jasmine, did you get the sign? I said, okay, that understands. Steve says, woohoo, 20. Yes, you can say 19. I sent you a picture of it. That's cool, Steve. Thank you. Jesse says, Jasmine, you are welcome. Katrina says, when are you processing them, Verna? The big ones, I'm going to process. It has to be sometime this week. I have to wait until I get a choke chain, Katrina, because I'm going to use the choke chain method. That way I can give them a lot of loving just before it all happens, so they won't know what's happening. Jasmine says, I have quail chicks hatching right now. Cute little fluff nuggets. That is so cool, Jasmine. What type do you have hatching? Andy says, I may have baby koi anytime already. The mamas are over fat. Andy, have you been weighing your mamas? Jasmine says, and I gotta check my buns. 3 mamas are due in 5 days. Woo, Jasmine, you go, girl. Katrina says, awesome, Jasmine. I am putting some into the incubator today. And Andy says, the choke chain is my favorite way of doing it. And she doesn't weigh her koi. Jasmine says, V, just a barnyard mix for my aviary cubby. That's cool, Jasmine. Oh, now for the guinea pig update that for the jumbo white wing update. They turned 6 weeks old. I have 4 hens, and their average weight is 10.68 ounces. I have 6 roos, and their average weight is 9.45 ounces. Jumbo whites, I'm saying. I know, Steve, it's because jumbo white wings are my favorite. But now I got jumbo whites. Now, the females, I only have 4 females. The biggest one weighs 11.5 ounces. The biggest roo weighs 12.1 ounces. And like I said, they're 6 days old, and today is day. In the last 2 mornings, I've had eggs. Yesterday morning was 2, this morning was 3. Katrina says, rebred my doe bunnies yesterday and the day before, so hopefully they will have lots of healthy babies. And Steve's got his fingers crossed for you being successful, Katrina. Andy says, I need to breed some of my rabbits after the snow melts. And Katrina says, thanks. Yeah, Andy, make sure you have those Havanas ready for me by QuailCon. They should be about breeding age. Jasmine says, fingers crossed for your bunnies, Katrina. My American Blue Doe is ready for me to pull her kits away from her. LOL. They are taking over her old condo and she's over it. And Andy says, hopefully you get some babies, Katrina. Andy says, yes, I'm going to breed them for you, Verna. Oh, you're going to make sure I have pregnant rabbits? I don't know. September may be too hot for breeding them. And I know my mamas are already pregnant again. I gotta take the males and put them all in one cage and take the mamas with babies and put them in different cages. Jasmine says, Andy, do the Havanas have good meat to bone ratio? And are they decently friendly? Jasmine, everything I said says so. Andy says, I could breed them for you if you want. No, Andy, I'll go ahead and do that. For the simple fact that way I know which one is to which male. I gotta figure out a way that I can mark which rabbits are which, like I do the other, like I do the birds. But I gotta figure out something different. Andy says, Jasmine, they are friendly. Yes, I haven't butchered any myself. Jasmine, the research I did, what she told me about the Havanas, is they are a compact rabbit with lots of meat on it, and they get about 5 pounds. So they're over twice the size of the guinea pigs. Andy says they will be tattooed. Cool, Andy. That way I can mark down the tattoos of which is which. But I need a visual one that I don't have to always. Well, no, I'll put them in separate cages. Jasmine says, I need to find a friendlier breed to replace my not so friendly ones. The Americans are wonderful. From what I understand, that the Havanas are very friendly too. You're right, Andy. The babies won't have to be. Not if they're for meat. Andy says silver fox, Jasmine. John says, Andy, why not? Those babies don't poop out tattoo. Well done, because all babies will be for the freezer camp. That's why. Andy says, no, unfortunately, Don. Jasmine says, thanks, Andy. I may have to come visit you in the spring to see yours. Silver fox aren't my favorite, but I'm open to them. Yeah, and check out her um, Havanas too, Jasmine. Nikki says, I moved my mama rabbit last night, and she is not happy with me at all. Oh, you guys, I'm going to bring you one of Little Mama's babies and let you see it. And then I'll get one of Big Mama's babies and let you see it. Jasmine says, I will, V. And he says, I have full-size Rexes too. I'll be right back, you guys. Oh, you guys. This one here is Angel. See the wing mark on her head? And this is the one that's a little over a week old. And see how the size of her. This is one of the newborns. And see the heart on her back? There we go. Now let me see what everybody said while it's gone. John asked Verna, are you adding rabbits to your meat raising or are you replacing the koi? I'm replacing the koi. C says, I thought my roos were extra loud. Didn't realize they were Verna's. Jasmine says, I had full-size Rex and got scratched the bejesus out of my hands and arms. My silver fox is sweet, but just don't love the coloring. And Andy's laughing. Jasmine's laughing. Jasmine says, hi, Angel. Katrina said, huge. Now you see what I mean? Now that the newborns are bigger than the week olds. Steve says, I like the rabbits when they are golden brown with a side of mashed taters. I agree, Steve. Andy says, the Rex are an iffy breed. Jasmine says, wow, she's a chunk, V. Yeah, those. Angel is small, but the heart one, let me see, what do I call the heart one? Oh, that black heart is what I call her. She is big, and she's not afraid of me because I've been handling all of them since they've been born. Okay. And he says, I agree, Steve. Jasmine says, okay, I wondered, Andy. I appreciate your insight. Andy says, I was typing and missed it. I'll replay it. I think she means. Katrina says, wow. Andy says, that one is cute. She says, Jasmine, speaking of huge, how is Koa? Andy says, I like the fur of the Rex, a small quilt, a soft quilt. Andy says, or a nice fur coat. Well, I think little mama's having a tantrum. Because I hear somebody messing with their bowls. Jasmine says, Steve, he is huge. 90 pounds at 6.5 months and doing really well. He's about to be a big brother soon. Hopefully he teaches the next one to be as good as him, minus the goose poop eating. Jasmine, I hate to tell you, but all dogs love geese and duck poop. And Jasmine says, Andy, I want to make some throw pillows with rabbit pelt. And Katrina's laughing. Give me a minute. I'm going to let Lucy run out by herself. Weekend, I should be safe from the dog warden. Lucy's really good about going out. The other day, she was out for a little bit longer. Oh, we got 20 likes that I see. Anyhow, so I called her when this was Thursday, so I called her. She came right to me carrying a big old ham bone. And I said, and she dropped it down on the floor and looked at me, and I said, thank you, Lucy, but you're not allowed to have that. Come here, Lucy. Lucy, inside. 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 Stop scratching that bed, you can stay inside. She came all the way up to the landing barking at something outside. She says, Verna, you can say 20 and believe it now, though I say 21. That is cool. We got 11 people on here. Jasmine says, I know, V, but it's just so gross. Thankfully, it's not dog poop, but still, I do not appreciate poopy mouth kisses from Pup. Oh, well, Jasmine, just look at it this way. When they eat geese and duck poop, that's usually green, so that means they're getting their greens. And he says, my husband kept telling the cat he was going to kill it, joking. I would tell him if he did, I was going to make a throw pillow out of her and it was going on his seat. C says, our cat drug home a deer leg. Wow, big cat. Jasmine says, oh gosh, Andy. Andy says, Don says, I see 21 likes. So weird. Why? We have 10 people here, and some of the others have already left. I think we've had over 20 people in here. Because not everybody talking, not everybody watching talks. And C says, Andy, a new chicken noodle soup. Andy laughs at Steve, and Jasmine says, Steve! No, Steve, that would be a new chicken fried rice. Or Colonel Tao's chicken. Jan says, I'm still here listening. Yes, you are, Jan. Jasmine says, you guys are so bad. Well, Jasmine, now you know why we're cousins. And he said, kitty fried rice. Uh, Jasmine's dying. She's laughing so hard. And Steve is just being innocent. I hope you want pee. Okay, if you want pee, I'll give you a treat. I forgot to put your beef in the deep freezer last night. So I'm going to have to do that this morning or this afternoon after it gets done and thaws out. And he says, I'm wiping my tears. So he said, Jasmine's secret. Downtown, she snuck quail and rabbit in her soup. Jasmine says, speaking of greens, changing topics, my quail have been enjoying fresh sprouts regularly since I put it in my tower. I pulled my tower out. That is great, Jasmine. My towers and jars are full of greens right now. I feed them to the quail and the koi. And he says, he's watching, Steve. She says, here, kitty, kitty, kitty. She says, I didn't say any names. Oh, boy, oh, boy. And he says, thank goodness. Yusuf says, hello again, I'm back. Welcome back, Freezer. We got 11 people in here now with Freezer joining in. Oh, and Freezer, you missed when I showed my puppies. I showed Angel and I showed Blackheart. Jasmine says, I gave sun sprouts to the goats and geese, and they all spit them out, lol. Oh, well, more for the quail and rabbit. You got that right, Jasmine. What you need for your goats is Brazil nuts. Jasmine says, hello, Yusuf. How are your chickens all doing? She says, reminds me of a Lucy episode. Lucy, you got some explaining to do. And now you made me call my dog Steve. And Jasmine's laughing. uh, He goes, dang, I missed it. Let me see if I can get one of the, let's see, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3-day old pups. See if I can grab another one of them. Hey, Mama. Now, you guys, I'm showing you a real beauty. Look at Red. She's all white except for her face. This baby's only 3 days old. Let me see if I can see if it's a boy or a girl yet. It's okay, baby. I have a feeling this one's a girl. Oh, I hope it is. But this one looks like a girl. It has a little Y. Oh, I know. You're just talking to me, aren't you? Would you believe when I put that one back in its cage, it didn't want to get off my hand? Okay. Let me see. Dang, I miss it. There. Hi, I'm fine, and the chicks are fine, and I'm hatching more. That's great, Yusuf. How are you? Steve says, away from keyboard. Yusuf says, aw, so cute. Nikki says, aw. Jasmine said, good deal. I'm really proud of you for not giving up, Yusuf. And I am well, thanks. Freezer says, too cute for meat. No, that's the meat ones, but that might be become a breeding one. I might mix that one with Rusty. No, I can't. I gotta mix it with one of the other. Yusuf says, I want some now. Hey, Freezer, maybe I'll save a breeding pair for you for QuailCon. How's that sound? Dawn says, oh, Red is cute. I know. And if she's a girl like I think, then she's going to make some pretty babies. Little Rich Farm says, I'm back. Had to eat breakfast with the Queen. Yeah, with Queen Kara. Breezer says, now my mom will go crazy if I have more critters. You know what? You can give it to your mom, Freezer. Let her have something to cuddle up with. C says, you want to England? Oh, wait, she's not there anymore. Mark says, Jasmine Bass, howdy. Freezer says, no. Jasmine says, hi, Mark. Mark says, Princess Kira is in New York. Jasmine says, hey, say hi to your queen. freezer. They only make noises when they hear you open a bag or when you walk past their cage because they want attention. And it's just little grunts and squeals. John says, I'm going to stop feeding Quail the $20 a pound microgreen seeds and switch them to $10 for 10-pound chicken scratch for microgreens fodder instead. That's good. Jesus says, I'm talking about all animals, cats, parakeets, quails, chickens. John says, I found some non-GMO purple corn, wheat, milo, barley, oats, sunflower seeds, millets, proponic acid, a preservative. She says, just hide them behind a roo. Mark says, will do, Jasmine. She says, don't listen to me. I'm a bad influence. Andy says, mine are outside, out of sight, but the second I open the door, they start yelling at me. Mark says, when does the new video come out, Jasmine? Yes, Jasmine. Inquiring minds want to know. Mark says, Steve, good to see you. Jasmine says, ha ha ha, soonish. You know, tomorrow night is Zach's live stream, and Monday's Katrina's live stream at Sew and Tear. Mark says, I've been waiting. So I don't remember if I posted those just on Facebook or if I posted them on YouTube. Let me check. Yeah, I did. Big Mama's delivery. I walked in Wednesday at 4 o'clock into the animal room, going to the ladies' room, and I saw Big Mama having her babies, and I went to get my tripod set up, and I wasn't having good luck with that, so I just grabbed my phone and ran back to the cage, and she was already finished giving birth. So within about 3 minutes' time, she had 2 other pups. Jesus says, I wish we had a couple acres so I could build a barn where I can keep all my animals. You know, Yusuf, if you had just 1 acre or a half acre, you could do that. You may not want to build a barn because that's kind of big. You could build a shed. Mark says, I'm going to spend the day on the balcony enjoying the sun today. Jasmine says, sun therapy is amazing healing. Enjoy it, Mark. That's why I took all the black curtains off my windows, Jasmine, because I need the sun. I need more vitamin D. Mark says he need it. Well, you guys, we want 35 minutes over. Jasmine says, wonderful, B. So I'm going to have to let everybody go, even though this is so fun. I hate to tear myself away because I have other things to do. Yusha says we have almost half an acre if you count the front and backyard. So you guys have a blessed day, and I see everybody tomorrow night at the latest. Janice says, thanks for giving us latecomers. Enjoy your lives, V. She says, other things that don't include us? No way. Jasmine says, sunshine. You all have a blessed day. And like I said, I'll see you tomorrow.